This is a conversation with Fahad Kaleem. He's an upcoming TikTok sensation from Abu Shagara in Sharjah. He's a comedian, entertainer, content creator, entrepreneur, and host of Platform 78. If you ever get the feeling that there's a Jinn in your room, just look again. It might be Fahad in disguise. In this episode, we discuss comedy, social media, the makings of a TikTok video, growing up in Sharjah, and more. Since these are the first few episodes of a series of interviews I like to call No Time to Talk, pretty original, I know. I like to give you guys some pointers. Throughout these episodes, me and my guests will be participating in this activity I like to call improv Lego. We'll not be following any instructions or building a specific pattern. In fact, actively trying to break each other's patterns if we can, and just improvising on the spot. What I want to see is how a stream of consciousness seeps into subconsciously shaping what we are creating with our hands as we speak to each other. And that's a new tongue twister for you if you would like. Another pointer, since this project is centered around the concept of stories, I feel a compelling need to let you guys know that one of my favorite storytelling devices are Easter eggs. That's all. Thank you. This is No Time. If you like what you see, then subscribe on YouTube. I never thought I'll become one of those people who would say this. Follow me on Spotify, rate 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, or do whatever you can on Google Podcasts. This project takes a lot of my time, money, and effort. So if you'd like to see it continue, do consider supporting me on Patreon. For other forms of love and support, you can follow this channel on Instagram or Twitter, or follow me personally. And now it's No Time. So I've seen you go to the middle of a desert, spend 6 to 8 hours, get a lot of people to help you out, get different camera angles, props, costumes. Basically, put a lot of time, money, and effort into making a 10-second video. Less money, let's say, and 10-second video that maybe just 100 people might watch. In my case, 3 people watch my videos. One is me. The other two are my fake accounts, actually. But the point is, you spend a large part of your life trying to make these really short videos that might make people smile for 2 seconds in a day max. So why do you do it?
It comes out of pure thrill for creating stuff. Like, so ever since a kid, I've always wanted to build something. I wanted to go to the moon when I was a kid, but then I found out that NASA is racist. So that
Wait,
shattered.
what? Sorry.
NASA is racist.
Okay.
So I found like,
All right.
so I was like, that's not gonna happen. Then I got into robotics. I was like, okay, fine, I can't go there. I'll just build
Wait,
stuff.
can I just ask? How is NASA racist?
Like back then, there was some news going on that they're not letting Indians or Pakistanis or Asians in general go to the moon, or I don't know, maybe that's just something I heard. I was a kid. I can't pinpoint.
Okay.
For a long time, I also believed that when you die, you go to the moon.
We all believed something stupid when you were young. Okay, so then you moved into robotics.
I was like, I'll help them send themselves to the moon. Then I'll be that. And from that came the whole building stuff. You know, I discovered I wanted to be an engineer, so I started learning physics. I would do woodcraft. I would build here and there, and I loved creating stuff out of scrap.
Clearly.
I was the best in my school for making projects. People were actually jealous and they would be like, why is he a part of this competition? Because if someone built a catapult, mine would be bigger and could launch their catapult.
Is this innuendo? I don't get it.
No, it's actually, I can.
An actual catapult.
It's an actual thing.
We all believe you. Yeah. Continue.
And from there, I slowly with time, university wasn't working out. So I got into making. So I was always into making people laugh since like I was a class clown. People would call me the lamest kid in class, but people would still laugh. If there's anyone who has to crack a joke, it's Fahad. And I realized, man, you know what? There's this thing in me that I like doing, and that's making people laugh. So I started doing it on video. I would see like a chicken on the road, and I would record it and put some Punjabi song in the background. And there was no motive behind it other than just doing it for fun. And then I started getting people's reactions, like random people's reaction, like haha, lol. People who I just had on my Snapchat for a while and I didn't know. And you randomly have ek wo tha phase. So it just built on from there. I came on Twitter. I would start tweeting about my experience in a wedding in Pakistan, and I got like 2-3 people to comment on that. And then from there, I just started sharing my experiences and things that I felt were funny. And it just grew from there, like to the point where now I go to the desert and I make videos. Like now I give it actual effort.
So you make a 5-second video and someone says lol. Why
Literally,
does it make you how does it make you feel firstly?
I get a lot of comments, lol, haha.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just an emoji. Sometimes
Yeah.
people give descriptive comments as well.
Yeah.
It, I just think of it like, buy one get one free. So you made a video, that's buying one, and the getting one free is the comment. I don't uh, like, to me it's really nice to see people are appreciating it, but at the end of the day I'm doing it for myself.
So you don't get like a thrill out of
The thrill is there in creating the video. The thrill ends over there. So after that, if it goes up or if it doesn't go up, it's might be my like third or second priority. The major thing is like when I'm building it, and it should come out the way I have planned it. And I think that's part of the reason why I haven't stopped, because for like I've seen in between, I've seen there have been times that I stopped, like I wasn't getting the views and the likes wouldn't come in or people wouldn't appreciate, but I kept doing it because it was for me. That has been the motive from the beginning.
does it frustrate you that sometimes the amount of effort you put in a video does not reflect in the feedback you get? So, for example, tomorrow you want to make a video about skydiving. You prepare for 3 months, and then you decide while skydiving, you're going to solve a Rubik's Cube. And then while you're solving the Rubik's Cube, you'll also be dancing to the salsa. A lot of effort goes into making this video. And then maybe you get a good reaction. And just the next day, you might be walking on the road and you see a pigeon and you make a video of having a conversation with the pigeon. And that goes, hate the word viral, but that goes viral. Does it frustrate you that this is the effort you're putting in is not matching the
It
feedback?
doesn't frustrate me. It just makes me like I just comment on it. And like, see, so something as simple as that can go up, and something I put so much effort in will not go up. So I'm fully aware of it. So I mean, in the beginning it was frustrating, but now it's just acceptance. Just accept the fact that this is how it is. This is society. People will give more importance to a guy on a skate.
It wasn't me, guys. Damn. Off to a rocky start. Please continue.
uh,
Society will
People,
give. Yeah.
society will just accept someone on a skateboard drinking a juice, and that will go viral. While you could put in the craziest amount of money and effort into a video, and it won't go viral. That's just how it is. It's all about watch time and what keeps you hooked.
So your aim is not to getting feedback from people is not the aim. Your aim is to create something.
Always.
So
Day
what are
one.
you creating? What is your main objective? Making people smile?
That is part of the objective. I really love the fact that I'm able to contribute to people's life in some way. And if that is by making them smile, I'm really happy that that's one of the ways. I've always wanted to help the world be a better place. But my main objective would be like the primary goal is to become a brand. So I want my face or my name to be a brand someday. I'm very inspired by
Like
these,
Bata shoes.
like Bata shoes from Pakistan, like Coca-Cola all the way from the dying soldier in America. Uh, I'm really intrigued and interested in how these brands came up and how many years it took in building. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's one of my lifelong goals to be remembered as maybe the guy who used to make videos, or maybe something else I do on the way on that path to be the brand. If I have a line of bricks like these, Lego, for example,
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
tomorrow people are doing a show like this and they're remembering.
I'm not sure if I'm being attacked. Okay, take me back. So you said you were in high school when a certain switch happened when you decided to spend your life trying to make people smile. You were a class clown. Was it a specific moment or like a specific event in your life that made you
I
make that switch?
I can't pinpoint it, but there was a very long time, or like long period of time in my childhood, in my high school life, where I was depressed. So I wouldn't do anything at that point. Like it was just me, wake up, school, come back, do cycling, sleep, routine, repeat.
How old were you?
16, I think. Yeah, I was 16 back then. 16, 17.
Okay, around that age.
16 to 18, you can say, is that period of time.
Yeah.
And during that time, I would make fun of myself to make myself laugh. There's no one better to support you than your own self. So I was my own clown. Like I would do something, like I would be depressed about something, and then I'd make fun of myself. If I was talking to my friends about my problems, in the end we would all laugh about it, sarcastic jokes about your own self. And somewhere there I also would do some of these video things. I would snap stuff, and I would look at things in a different way. And yeah, so during this period of time, I got the idea that if I could use this depression and this negative energy and channel it into, that part of my brain that loves creating stuff, and maybe that's content. Twitter really helped me at that time. So Twitter is like, I would believe, like my personal diary. If you scroll back all the way to 2014, you're gonna see some. I've deleted most of it, but you're gonna see
Trust
some.
me, I did for the research for this episode. Yeah.
You're gonna find some depressing stuff I used to tweet back then. And yeah, so in that phase where I would tweet a lot, I started building my audience. 5 people, 3 people from university, 2 people from work, a few of my own friends. Friends help you a lot in building that audience of yours.
So I'm imagining you're sitting alone in a room and cracking jokes to yourself and then laughing on your own.
Not exactly.
Sounds a bit. Is it just me?
Not exactly.
That's what you said, right?
Not exactly like that.
अरे मैं कितना crazy हूँ, अरे हा हा हा, मैं कितना funny हूँ type.
Actually, if you've come to, but yeah, so something like that. I would create content, share it with my friends, send it to them, tweet it. It wouldn't get that much attention, but then some of it started picking up. And in the university, people started recognizing me. Hey, you're the guy who tweeted that, or you're the guy who said that. Within courses as well. So we would have different courses. People would recognize me that, oh, this guy's on Twitter. Twitter was my primary.
Launched your career.
You could say. I was just like on 300 followers. Twitter was the thing that from depression, it went to comedy. I would comment on stuff I would see on Twitter. I would talk a lot. I would tweet like 4 to 5 times a day. I would spend a majority of my time on that app. So if you want to pinpoint where it all started from, I would say definitely Twitter. In fact, 2 of my most viral tweets are on Twitter as well.
Happy to hear that. I'm glad you were actually able to overcome that tough period. Not many people are able to do that. Yeah. And you were able to channelize that energy into something really positive and something that's helping other people as well. Because when you see something entertaining, then you're adding some light into their darkness. I want to ask you, so at that point, what were your major sources of inspiration? Were there specific comedians, a TV show, maybe a movie that you really liked and that really inspired your style?
So I would say if you've seen Just Rain, Just Rain is actually, I would say, one of my biggest inspirations in comedy. And if I've seen every single video that there is YouTube Vine of his at least twice, some maybe more. Till date, sometimes when I'm having food at night, I'll just open Just Rain and watch it. If you're watching this, Just Rain, I love you.
Are you doing some mouth movements or what are you?
I was just...
Okay. The thing is, Just Rain, I really used to like him because he was one of the first to combine absurdist humor with this Vine format, the Twitter template, very short form, instant gratification. And he could fill in so much in just 6 seconds. Jitna hi Vine hota. And it was crazy. And he added these new elements. Some of them are spotted in your videos as well. He does the camera zoom after every conversation. He has that awkward smile that he does. Can you do that for the camera? Yeah. Excellent. I think a young puppy just committed suicide looking at that. But yeah, his sense of humor was...
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. His sense of humor is absolutely amazing. And I do see those elements in yours as well. You also have that mouth movement thing that you do.
So I would say he gave me the foundation to build my comedy on. I watched him so much. So I started zooming into my face because of him.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Who told you that was a good idea?
I mean, no one did. I mean, except Just Rain himself. Yeah. I found it funny, so I wanted to, he started a trend, I would say. Yeah. If anyone out there zooms into their face and makes a video, it's because of Just Rain. He started that trend. I haven't seen anyone else. Of course, I mean, it adds that dramatic suspense. It's there in Indian dramas. It's there in movies. They just zoom into your face. But the way he would do it, and for the reasons he would do it, wasn't the same. The whole thing that I do with my
That's two puppies that have just come in.
that
Yeah.
also stems from, if you see his videos, he does have this character where the character does some lip movement.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just I explore different things. Just Rain's sense of humor is very simple. I feel anyone who watches him can immediately relate to it. Majority, at least. Not anyone, because language barrier is there. But I've sat with people who don't understand what he's saying in Punjabi, and they have laughed as well. Because it's just the way he's communicating.
It's more physical
Yeah.
theater. Yeah. Interesting. So you also developed your own characters. One
Yeah.
of them is the Jinn.
Yeah.
Was that also inspired by someone, or that was a
So yes, it was. Not online. It's an actual thing.
what is this?
It's actually someone or something in my house.
Okay.
So ever since I've been a kid, I've been experiencing paranormal activity.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. The Jinn is inspired by a Jinn in your house.
It literally says in my bio, I can't make this shit up, and it's very,
What?
it's very true. Like
Okay.
most 95% of the videos you must have seen are very, very true. So the first video of the Jinn, the official video, was when I'm running to turn off the lights, and I feel like I'm being chased by someone, and then I mimic the Jinn. So ever since a kid, I've actually seen something once when I was brushing my teeth. There was something that just popped in and went back out. So like with the towel, and when I went out, the towel was on the floor, flat. I was like really young back then, and I was like,
What?
yeah, I'm not joking.
Damn, I didn't expect a horror story in the middle of this.
I'm just
Continue. Yeah.
So from there, I progressed with time. There was once I used to have, so me and my brother, and we were like rowdy boys. So we would jump a lot and potential to hit our head on the floor. So my mom had these foam mats, those gym mats. So if you walk bare feet on it, you can hear that sound. So once I'm sitting with my brother and we're just, playing, and both of us can distinctly hear steps walking past us. We can't see anything, but we can hear it. I've seen shadows, weird shadows. So like you look at light coming from one perspective and there's a shadow, right? Shadow is cast. And there's nothing over there but shadows being cast. I've seen all of this. I've experienced all of this. Things randomly disappear. I once hid 50 dirhams from my mom, which I stole from her, and then I never found it back.
Oh, he's a good Jinn.
He is a good Jinn.
Yeah.
He's definitely a good Jinn.
Teaches the right values.
My brother has seen something in his dream. I've till date I have sleep paralysis. Once I showed the middle finger to it for disturbing me in my sleep, and then it ended. We have a love-hate relationship.
This is the first time I heard of a comedy character being inspired by a ghost.
There's a first time for everything.
I've never come across this.
No. Every single thing that I create on my content about Jinn is rooted or stemmed from something that has actually happened. Why is this coming as shock to you? Why would I?
Why wouldn't it be a shock to me?
Like, why would I create specifically a Jinn character in my videos? When
I mean, it's relatable. Like all of us, when you switch off
who
the
has a
light.
Jinn? in their house?
No, but like when you switch off the light in a room and you're walking, you always feel like there's something watching you. That is a very
So
relatable
maybe
thing.
that's the message that I'm trying to communicate to people, guys. We have actual people living with us who are Jinn.
Wait, did you actually find out? Like, is there a backstory to this in that house you live in?
It was abandoned for like 5 years, the whole place.
I wonder why.
The whole building was off. No, there was no Diva connection for like 5 or 6 years. Okay. That's what I know of. So maybe that gave them like, they're like, oh, empty place, let's move in. And then we moved in. So from what I know, that there is a fatherly Jinn and there's a kid Jinn.
There are two of them?
Yeah, but I'm only able to pinpoint one of them mainly. The kid Jinn most has mainly disturbed my mom, and my brother has seen some kid run into my sister's toys and then come back, has dreamt this. I've seen it once. So whenever I make eye contact in my dream, I freeze.
Eye contact with what?
So like some kid sitting at the end of the room, and I would come in and I would bang the door to scare it, and it just makes eye contact with me. I see the eyes clearly. I freeze, like how glitches, you lag. And then you wake up. I've woken up very tired sometimes. Like I felt like I didn't even sleep. Like I was awake the whole time. I'm sorry if you didn't expect such a.
This was meant to be a comedy episode.
It is very funny.
But now I'm very.
It is very funny, you know, because one
Yeah,
time,
hilarious.
this one time I was sometimes you know stay awake till 5-4. I heard the sound on the cupboard, like I got really pissed off, so I got up and I made the same sound. And I made this really angry face and I said, "Don't do it again."
What? Anu, you're threatening them.
Yes, so they're not more powerful than you are. You're actually more intelligent. So if you make them aware that you're aware of them, they'll stop bothering you. And I do that every day by creating a video every now and then. Hey, listen, I've reached 500,000 views with one video. So
Does the Jinn know that he's actually sourcing your content?
I would. So maybe if the in the afterlife I end up seeing him, I would like to believe that he knew that he was part of the reason.
There's a father and a son, huh? It's very interesting.
So I've seen a kid and I've seen a older figure.
Yeah.
So
Damn. I'm sure there's a story to this in that house.
I don't know.
Or maybe the entire building.
Maybe. It could be. Because the apartment next to us has never stayed fully vacated for more than a year, 2 years. Always. People have come and left. People have come and left. Now it's empty.
I wonder why, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Like, that's curiosity.
Damn. I could spend an hour discussing this. This is not the intention. Okay, but that's an amazing story, man. So let me just ask you, this is not part of the script at all. We're going off script now.
Okay.
So do you believe in the existence of ghosts and something supernatural? Clearly, you are tending towards it.
So in part of my religion has, as Islam states, that there are beings that are jinn which you can't see, but the jinn have the ability to see you and they can transform into physical, take manifest of a animal or maybe even a man.
Maybe I could be.
You could be. You never know. So I always like to carry a X-ray vision with me to see if there's anything under.
Oh, you can detect it with the X-ray?
I mean, they're electromagnetic waves, the energy at the end of it, right? So
maybe the jinn has come inside me to give you this therapy session.
You never know.
Damn.
I'm just going to take away content. Whatever he gives me.
Damn, he can't even sue you. Not there physically.
There is no law. There's no article that states I can't.
That's crazy.
Halloween's right around the corner.
That's amazing. Okay. Trying to move back to the normal conversation we were supposed to have. But I have a lot of questions. Maybe I'll call you back for a second part just to discuss the jinn itself.
No problem.
Another character you have. How do you even go back to normal conversation?
There's nothing normal about me.
Yeah. A normal character you have is you play your mom.
Oh, yeah.
With the wig, who is a real person.
Yes.
Does she know that you are making her famous on?
So the first time, like officially the first time I got a lot of attention was I posted a screen recording of my mom giving me shit because I tore my... So I had this shalwar kameez and I accidentally tore it from here.
She sent you voice notes, I think.
So I sent her a picture
and
she sent me a voice note giving me shit and I just posted it on Twitter. And the next thing I know, like a week later, my friend tags me on Instagram with the same screen recording. Someone page has posted and it had like 20,000 views.
What did she say?
She said, I will quote exactly.
Please.
Kutta haramzada ullu ka patta zaleel insan kabhi apna khayal nahi rakhta. And she was just cursing me. And then from there it went on to, being worried about me because there was a bit of a scratch.
Yeah.
And it was Eid. So, it's just added up wonderfully.
Oh, man.
And so my mom, actually, she's not completely okay with coming on camera. Even with her voice, she's like, all the aunties in Pakistan are going to judge and I'm not cool with this. So I tend not to, so that couple of first times happened. And then ever since she's like, no, I'm not okay with this. So I was like, okay. So what I did was I improvised and I created the character. And now I just mimic.
Now you are your mom.
Now I am my mom.
Amazing.
Final, what's that movie's name? Predestination. You seen it?
No, what happens?
Spoiler alert if anyone's not seen it. Basically, the female travels back in time, is a transgender, converts herself into a male, meets himself in that time, has sex, gives birth to a baby who is given to an orphanage, grows up to become that female, and then who discovers time travel, comes back. So it's basically a loop of the same person who is their own mother, father, and child.
Yeah, sounds like an amazing movie.
It's a crazy movie, but it's there. Yeah. So I could be my own mother in a given timeline.
Continue having a normal conversation.
Um,
How do you avoid that voice in your head that's constantly telling you that you're not funny, and especially when you edit a
Oh,
video that
shit.
200 times, 300 times, you stop finding the joke that was initially funny. Now you start finding it really lame. How do you switch that voice off?
That you just hit the spot, because like literally last night I created a video and I deleted it because I was like, it's not funny. You can't switch it off. You have to live with it. Like many things, it is what it is. And what you need to do is, so of course there's friends and there's people who support you in what you do. That's like one way to dampen the whole thing. The other thing is to just simply believe in yourself, man. There's no way out of it. You can't, because this is insecurity, and I believe everyone has deep down an insecurity about themselves. That's how humans are built. It's an inbuilt feature. You can't get rid of it. So what I would like to do in such cases are I will tell myself, fuck the people. This is what I like, But that doesn't always play out, because
I'm sorry, who told you can curse on this show?
Sorry. Beep.
Yeah. Don't fucking do that again. Please carry on.
I don't know if that's I can get.
Yeah. Fuck the people.
Like at one point, because that's why your insecurity is there. Because what will people say? Will people find this funny or not? And then you tell yourself, no, this doesn't matter what people say. Let's do it. So it's an ongoing back and forth. And then so like the whole editing the same video till it becomes not funny anymore. I've been there multiple times and I just post it. Like I know that at a certain point I found this funny, and now I just don't find it funny anymore because I've basically relived the video 20, 30 times. Acted it, edited it, seen it. So, but there are some videos that even after editing it and even after acting out a million times into it, I still find it funny. I go through my page sometimes and I'll just laugh at my own videos.
So the intention is to trust your first instinct.
Always. But sometimes, some shit is actually not funny. So it's more of trial and error. You will get to know just by doing something again and again that this wasn't it. Maybe you need to do it again. It's not bad to delete something and redo it always. But if you're doing it too much, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing. It needs to be like this. It needs to be like easy flow.
What I want to do now is a game segment.
Okay.
In fact, can you give me like those music intros like pa pa ra pa pa pa?
I used to be a DJ.
Yeah, we'll see your skills now. So we'll do the introduction again. I'll let you know when you have to do it.
Okay.
So now we're gonna do a game segment. Masterclass with Fahad Kaleem.
Oh shit.
Thank you. One day we'll have an audience on this show.
Inshallah. Yeah. I am a strong believer of that.
Of audiences?
Yeah, and I'm going to be
an audience.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So in a masterclass with Fahad Kaleem, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to make a live TikTok video on the spot. And along the way, we'll discuss what your thought process is when you make one.
Okay.
And any budding TikTokists?
TikTokers is what they like to call themselves.
That's the lingo. Right. So they can watch this video and maybe get some tips from the master himself.
I wouldn't call myself a master.
All right. So the first thing is, do you make a video when you get an idea, or do you sit down and try to think of ideas and then shortlist it? What comes first?
Both. So it's in equal distribution. Lately, it's mainly sitting down with a blank head and thinking. But the easiest ones, and mainly how it usually used to happen, was I would experience something and I would convert it into a skit. For example, my mom heard a Travis Scott song and she reacted to it funny. So I converted that into a skit. Mostly relatable experiences, but you will hit rock bottom on those because every day is not possible to have one of those. So you need to sometimes sit down, get inspiration, watch content, scroll through TikTok for like hours before you can find something um, that's good and funny. It's not. It's both basically. You need to sit down and have a blank mind. You need to clear out your head. Sometimes you just need to get out, go out with your friends, go to the mall, be in a shop and experience something. You need to experience stuff to be able to create stuff.
Do you consciously make a decision to not offend anyone or not have topics that cover controversial topics like race, maybe? Or I also noticed that your content is not dated, so you don't usually make jokes about elections or an upcoming event or something like that. Your jokes are more about characters and everyday situations, very relatable. Something you see in a shop in the market that anyone can relate to. Is that a conscious decision or is just
I
so natural?
just live in my own bubble, I would say. So I don't keep up with the news as much. If something's happening and someone's told me, then I know about it. If I saw something on Snapchat or Insta stories, I know about it. I don't check the news, so to speak. To me, it's uh, my friends and family are my news bubble, you know. So that could be the reason why I don't make that much content on politics. But if I start, like, now you've just given me an idea, you know. Maybe next
I'll
video is
send you
on.
my invoice.
Next idea is could be in the news. Maybe I'll have to do some research over there. But I recently made something on iPhone 12 Pro, so I'm a huge fan of iPhone, and I saw the Apple event. I don't watch it, but I saw it and I was like, you know what? Let's make fun of this because I was kind of pissed off at the new iPhone.
Well, which brings me to the first question: do you work on not offending people, or it's just the content that's important?
It's content. If it's very controversial, like when it's like discrimination or, so to speak, I don't know, it's getting racist. That's I tend to avoid anything like that. I mean, in some of my content, you will see that primarily Desi parents are what is being targeted, but then I'm Desi myself. So if anyone gets offended, I'm supposed to be offended first.
I'm not sure if that's how it works, but okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so so let's assume we're going to be building a TikTok video on the spot. So let's take a premise, a funny idea, putting you on the spot. Let's just say, okay, the premise is that we can't find parking in Dubai Mall. We'll roll with it until we come up with another premise. Okay, so you have an idea you're working with now, and you've shortened it down to the message that you want to convey. What do you do next? Do you think of the scene, or do you think of what character fits in best? Do you put the Jinn in there, or do you put your mom in there, put a pigeon in there? How
Okay.
does it work?
So you need to first find out. So I have to be in this situation. For example, I've been in this situation. I actually lost my car once in Dubai malls.
I think everyone
Small,
has.
like, no, when I lost it like for a good 2 hours, and then the securities checked the cameras, and then they found my car. And what you would do is get the most relevant characters in that situation.
Yeah.
So that there goes your security guy, and then there's you, and you want to keep it very limited so people's focus goes very fast.
Is there a catch in putting in absurd characters? Like the Jinn doesn't fit in a parking, but there might be a comedy element to it.
I would put the Jinn over there if I can think of a plot twist. Like maybe the Jinn was the guy who drove my car off, you know?
Yeah, I like this video. Actually, we should make it.
You never know.
Yeah, you're looking for your car pop up, and suddenly the Jinn with a towel is.
Jinn pulls up with the car, and he was actually trying to find you, and while you were going in circles in the
I
city.
really like this idea. We should
And the security
for collabs.
and the security is just there, and then you play with the facial expressions. So just like this, you think of possible 2-3 outcomes of the story. You need an intro, and you need a ending. A video is pointless if it doesn't have these two things. Even though if the video is pointless, even with the intro and the ending, there still needs to be an ending. So usually the endings are the dumb facial expressions, you know?
Oh, that's the ending.
Yeah, literally that. And what helps enhance these ideas are the sounds you use. So it could be a viral TikTok song. So especially if you're on TikTok, you need to, and TikTok kind of has this algorithm that only shows you content that you like. So if I like funny content, that's all I see. I don't see little underage girls dancing on my For You page. I will see actual funny content. And from that I can pick out songs that are trending right now on TikTok, specific to this um, whole skit phenomena. And then I can shortlist. I save like 4 or 5 songs, and I'll see what fits best. And then I'll try to time my scenes. So scene one is me searching for my car. Scene two is the security trying to reach out to me, like trying to help me. And then I can, I could literally just use, I could literally not say anything and do the whole thing. So I like what I do in my content is I just use my lips and my tongue movement. You know,
That's 3 puppies now.
imagine how many puppies have been killed
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a
past.
there's a whole funeral procession that's going out now.
I'm sorry, puppies.
Yeah,
My mom always called me a kutta. So
she knew what was happening. How you also take like really weird camera angles? You shake the camera a bit.
yeah, that's
Um,
all. That's all part of how I envision it. So in my eyes, if I take it from here, like it kind of makes me look ugly.
Yeah.
And I believe that I'm beautiful.
It only makes you look.
Yeah. So
Babo, you're beautiful.
when I kind of look ugly, like if I zoom in too much into my face and you see the big nose, for example, someone actually commented once that I have a big nose, and I know I have a big nose. You don't have to say that.
You're comfortable with your, for the lack of a better word, defects, flaws.
Yeah, I feel that if I show only that, people. So like you know that one kid who has to go and give the presentation first, and
I was that kid. Yeah, I
okay,
know.
and
it
everyone
very
is just
well.
everyone's very nervous.
Yeah.
In class. I don't want to do this. You know, I'm kind of shy. But if that one kid goes first, and then you feel a little better because you see how it goes for him. So I feel like I'm that one kid who went and did the presentation first for everyone in every single video I've made. So they see me maybe f up. You know, they see me with my improper angles or whatever, and they are able to more relate to it.
You have to be very secure to be able to do that.
Like I said, I used a lot of my negative energy, channeled it into, so it's helped me reach that stage.
Okay, so you got the character, got the premise, you put the camera angles, put the music, you put some filters into it. There are some occasions you put that Hindi soap opera like Turundur,
So there's only one filter that I use.
Yeah.
It's the eye lens.
Yeah, why do you use that? Yeah.
Just so that people have something to comment about.
This is not my question. This is people have sent me the question. I was like, I'm interviewing Fahad. What
No,
a
no,
question.
no.
Everyone's like, why the eye filter?
It's specifically to make people ask that question. When someone asks that question, I automatically warn the algorithm. When someone comments that or someone shares the video to talk about it, the algorithm is pumping my video up. And even though that's, you know, like, it's like one of those subtle marketing techniques. So if you use something, it makes you stand out. It's like a USP, I would say, unique selling point.
Yeah, I know USB. Yeah. That's an interesting point you touched. And this I wanted to focus on was how do you make something go viral on social media? You have cracked it. You've had a lot of videos and posts and tweets that have gotten a good amount of traction. And this is something that everyone wants to do. This is the age where everyone wants attention and they want likes and they want people watching their stuff. What are some tips that you follow to make sure that your post reaches more people? I'm asking for myself as well. I think these videos hardly reach out to 5 people, so might be beneficial.
I think every audience has their own niche. Like every content has their own audience, their own niche. And out of my experience, you need to have your audience first. So what you have, those 5 people are the people who are going to go make you viral first. These 5 people, if they're hooked to your content, thank you. You just stole my spaceship.
These 5 people, if they hook to your content,
are the people who are going to help you go viral. So let's say these 5 people watch your video every day and they comment on it, they share it to one of their friends. They're one day going to become 7 people.
what would you say is your demographic, your audience?
I think I have like 50 people who regularly like watching me. Out of the views and out of the followers, whatever, there's 50 people who love watching me, and these are maybe mixed kids and adults. And some of them might be here in the UAE, some of them might be outside, but because on and off I will get like 10 people regularly talk to me about my content and give me feedback instantly, and then you also see the stats come in, so you know what's happening. So to go viral, if there was a formula to go viral, then everyone would go viral every day. So there isn't, so to speak, a formula to do that. You have to figure it out. How did I go viral? I kept trying. I kept trying different things, different types of content. I was at that, so that robot shaking hand video that I did. I made it. It took me 3 cuts, like 3 takes. I gave my friend the camera and I was like, bro, we have to make this with this robot. There was no, so there's always that intention that I want this to blow up. Like that's like, low key, everyone wants that. But at the same time, I was like, this is funny and I know people are going to like it. I took it that night. I took that video. I put it on Premiere Pro. It took me 10 minutes overall, I would say, to finish the thing. It wasn't that big. I uploaded it on Twitter and immediately you could see that people were retweeting it, people were sharing it, and it's going viral. Why? Because it was simple and short. Usually that's okay. If you want to go viral really quickly, you need to make something that people will continue watching. Watch time is very important. If a building is on fire and if you make a video of that, it is more likely to go viral than if you take a video of a normal building. You want to find content that gets people hooked. Why do people like David Dobrik, Mo Vlogs get so many views? Because their content is ever going. Like something's always happening. If you watch their videos, Mo Vlogs is always showing something new. In the luxury world, for example, David Dobrik's vlogs are crazy. It starts off and the frame never ends. Like there's something crazy going on. Any video that ever goes viral, it's something that you would watch till the end. And what helps you go viral on these platforms? So how do these platforms, how does TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook make money? Is the more time people spend on the application, the more money they make. So if you get a content on their application that can keep people hooked to that platform, they're going to push your content out there. Whether that's the most cringiest Charlie D'Amelio dances or it's a guy on a skateboard, they're going to push your content out there. They're going to make you that, influencer that makes millions of dollars. They don't care because you're getting them millions of people around the world hooked to their application in a way. So if you are, and I think many people have lost their path as creators of content trying to do that, just to get that attention. They will do anything and they will create anything that gets them the views. And they're becoming more platform oriented rather than content oriented. And that's why today in this world, we have very less original content creators who are actually funny or who are actually original, I would say. I come across a few people from across the world who aren't getting those many views, but their content is so genuine and basic. And they have like a few people, and I know tomorrow they're going to blow up. Like Ray William Johnson on YouTube in the past. I don't know if he even today makes TikToks, by the way, and he's got millions of followers there. And his content is his. It's him. Be you.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Great message.
I'm building the same thing that I built there again, subconsciously. I don't know why.
Interesting how
I broke down everything.
Now I'm going to take that again from you. Okay. I'm going to switch tracks now.
Yeah.
You are born and brought up in Sharjah.
Yes.
According to Vanity Fair, you're the 4th hottest guy in Abu Shagara. You can check it up. If I do ask you to put a number to it, what percentage of your life have you spent in the traffic between Dubai to Sharjah?
This is a very interesting question because I've asked myself this.
We ask only interesting questions here.
Do we have a calculator over here that I could actually give you?
We can work it out, the numbers.
Okay, so 2 hours every day.
Okay.
Multiply that into 30. Let's remove Fridays. Days.
Oh, month. Okay.
So
let's remove Fridays.
Yeah, so
26. Okay, 52 hours.
52 hours into 12.
Okay. I'll make it 50, make it easier for us. Okay, so 600. 600 hours.
Into 23.
That's your age? Damn.
Yeah, guys.
623. Damn, now we're doing really tough math for me. Okay, so 12,000.
Okay.
Around. I'm rounding it down. 12,000 hours.
Yeah. 12,000 hours in traffic.
Damn. So what do you do in that traffic? Have you figured out like a hack for like a time slot or combination of roads
Yeah.
which makes you reach home in a faster amount of time?
No.
There's no escaping the traffic if you live in Sharjah.
Look, there's two things. There's time and there's traffic. Do you want to reach home early or do you just don't like traffic? Which one is it? For me, it's I just don't like traffic. I don't mind reaching late. So what I will do is sometimes deliberately stay in Dubai till 9. I'll find something else to do. If you're talking about shortcuts, there's E611, which is the outskirts of UAE.
Emirates Road.
Uh,
Represent.
You can always take that, and guaranteed you will not find traffic over there 9 out of 10 times. You'll just smooth sail onto your destination, and you'll find like 15 minutes of traffic towards the end. But it's going to take you the same time it's going to take you if you went in traffic.
It's longer.
Yeah, it's just longer and it's no traffic. What do I do in the traffic? So for, I think, out of 12,000 hours that you calculated, maybe 10,000 I was in school, and I would just listen to Virgin Radio. I listened to Chris Fade. I used to listen to...
Wait, in school?
Yeah. And, so I would come with my father. My father would drop me. I wouldn't...
School bus.
I didn't have... I had the school bus for a while.
School bus playing Chris Fade? That never happened.
That's a new.
Yeah.
That's the first. So I would listen to radio. Most of the time I would sleep and get that migraine when I would wake up as a kid because constant back and forth in the traffic. You don't... you fall asleep, but then your neck starts hurting because you sleep in the wrong angle. You have to wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning when your school starts at 7:30.
Yeah, I did as well. No way. You know why I did that? It was
Why?
my first stop, the school bus. And the thing is, because our school had 10,000 students, and I stayed in Mankhul. Most
Okay.
amount of students from our school were from Mankhul.
Okay.
So my bus literally covered 2 streets.
Oh.
Just 2 streets.
Okay.
So I was the first stop on that. My brother's smart, right? So he used to wake up at 6:30. I wake up at 5:30. And I was more the principled kid, named "Main time pe jaunga" type.
Okay.
Even the bus is going to come at 6:30, I'll be down at 6
Okay.
and waiting because I don't want to miss the bus.
Okay.
I would start like, it'll be an ignominy if I miss the bus. That's the kind of person I am.
Punctual.
I'll go down half an hour early, ready, prefect badge there, all set.
Prefect.
Yeah, I want to be on the bus. My brother wakes up at 6:30, misses the bus always. The bus just covers 2 streets, right? So it comes, it takes a loop and it goes back.
Okay.
So it just goes to the building behind my house.
And he'll come there.
He'll just come there. He'll just come down, cross the street, and he's there 1 hour later.
Shit, man.
The bus driver didn't know we were brothers. Because he never came at the same stop. Yeah. Later he found out.
And was that a problem? Like with the school, with the bus? No, right? Like,
He never knew. He thought that guy stayed in that building. He was my brother. He
I
never
would
knew.
love to meet your brother.
He
but
got out at my stop. He used to go back. He never came in.
That's what you call. It's good to work hard, but working smart is always better.
Often I feel that Sharjah is unfairly put under the shadow of Dubai. Maybe because Dubai is a lot more flashy.
Unfairly?
Is it not unfair?
It's coming from someone who's lived in Sharjah his whole life. I love Sharjah. Sharjah is home.
Yeah.
To me, but Dubai has its reasons, and it's where it is because of what it is.
Okay, so then what makes Sharjah unique? Not just in comparison to Dubai, but as a city of the world.
As a city of the world, what makes it unique, I think, is there's. I don't know what to say over here because Sharjah is just Sharjah. Like, I feel if it's especially for someone who comes from Pakistan or India, it's as if we've recreated our cities over there in Sharjah. Like we've got a lot of community over there who's very. You can't say people of Sharjah, like you can't tell the difference. But yeah, I would say in the way they talk, in the way they move, maybe it's very difficult to differentiate because over the years I've felt that Dubai and Sharjah people have the only difference between them is the traffic. I feel. I come from Sharjah. I've lived there my whole life, but I've sat across the people who live in Dubai and I don't see much of a difference. I mean, yeah, okay, you have perks of living in Sharjah and that's you get everything, literally everything there. So I live, for example, 5 minutes away from a grocery store, a barber, a laundry shop, a carpenter, a car polish.
We get the point.
Everything's there. A hospital, everything's there.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry.
Forget about it.
That's one way that Sharjah is unique, because in Dubai there's many places that you don't get everything. I mean, of course, there's a lot of services now. You pay more, you get everything on your doorstep, but not everything is available right below your building. So that's one thing that's very unique. And I've always wondered what it would be like to live in Dubai and not have all those things right under your doorstep. Parking, we have a lot of kacha parking.
You get parking? Really?
Free
I've never been able to find
parking.
parking.
No. I mean,
kacha parking.
You can't find parking, but if you live in Sharjah, you'll figure it out. I think those parkings are the reason why I passed my parking test, because you have to do some really crazy maneuvers, like where there's literally, I'm not exaggerating, this much space between your car and the other car when you're moving it out. Getting clocked in parking in the morning. And sometimes you just can't get out because the guy decided not to leave his number on the dashboard. So there is no, you can call the cops all you want. The cops can't also get to him because the guy's phone is not on. What are you going to do? Slash his tires? He's still not going to move from there. You're stuck.
Just Sharjah things.
Just Sharjah things. That happened, bro. It has happened.
I'm pretty sure it has. What are some hidden spots, restaurants, places that are really beautiful, places of history, culture in Sharjah that not many people know about?
I think it's so the Rola area has some really nice places. I go there a lot during Ramadan because we offer this Tarawih prayer, and they have this. So how would I give it, like the heritage of Sharjah? So they have all these castle type places and these forts built still there, and there's actually a rope hanging out of one of them. I once tried climbing into it. It was like a tall 5-story fort, but I didn't make it all the way up.
Was it meant for climbing?
I don't think so.
Why?
I was a kid.
Continue.
I love
as you do. Yeah.
And they've just plastered it and they've made it more solid now. You can actually go there and you can check out the place. You get they've got some museums where they show the history of the currency of UAE. Like they've got all these old coins over there. Astronomy, they have this whole fishing area where they used to dive. They were divers for pearls. That's about it.
What is your favorite restaurant or one of your favorite restaurants?
My favorite restaurant, I think, hands down, is Hot Burger Cafeteria.
Okay. Where's this?
It's right next to my house again. It's been there since I was born.
Okay.
You can call them up at any time of the year, at any time of the day, night. If there's any other time frame you can invent, they're open. They have this permit, or I don't know what, that even on public holidays you'll find food being served in that place, and it's very fast. Like you order
what do you eat there?
Chicken special burger.
Chicken special.
Yeah, it's
not a normal one.
No.
Normal cheese is the bhai kaam hi nahi
Yeah.
leta. Special.
Chicken special burger. They like to call it chicken mayonnaise, but it's chicken mayonnaise. Then there's I customize some of my orders with them. They're very customer oriented, so you can tell them that what you need. You need extra spice. You need what spices you need. They can actually add it to their menu and make it custom to you because you live there 20 years. So you get these perks. I don't think you get them in Dubai.
One day I'll do an entire episode of these cafeterias that serve local food, Arab food, but run by expats. They just have these amazing burgers, falafel, shawarmas that they put fries in. Yeah. They put some masala in. Oh man, that is the real cuisine of Dubai and Sharjah.
Bro, you don't like, I don't know how to say it, but I can't find this food anywhere else. Like maybe it's that home feeling, that maa ka khana jo hota hai. I'm not calling Hot Burger my mother in any way.
What?
Like, but
go to Hot Burger, guys. Maa ka khana.
No, I just love Hot Burger.
Yeah, I want to try it now. Is it a veg special burger?
I'm sure. Even if there isn't, I'm sure there will.
They'll remove the chicken and give
They
you.
will just give you the burger buns and say, "Here you go, veg burger."
Yeah, my memories of Sharjah have always been a bit dark because when I was young and we just moved to Dubai, my family made the plan to go visit this new development in Sharjah called Kanatal Kasbah. And it was like my dad was feeling generous that day. So he was like, today I'll show my kids what happiness feels like. So took us to Kanatal Kasbah and then he was in a very good mood. So he's like, okay, I'll buy 2 tickets to the Ferris wheel, the Eye of the Emirate, for me and my brother. And we were like, what is happening, guys? Is it our birthday? It's not. So, but we still sat in the Ferris wheel. Both of us are very happy. Like, this is what rich people feel like. Bahut maza aa raha hai. Went all the way to the top and stopped.
Oh,
Stopped working.
like it stopped working, or
Stopped working. Stuck. And we are dangling on the top, right at the top. So now me and my brother, we are young. So at that age, you don't really think what can go wrong. You're enjoying the ride. It's an AC cabin. You're at the top. You got a great view of Sharjah, right? Enjoying life. In our eyes, it's like it was a 10-minute ride and now it's become a 1 hour ride. So you're getting more than a value for money, right? But you can see, I can see my pop running around down, screaming at people because in his eyes, his 2 kids have now been sacrificed to the sun gods, right? It's like, I'm not sure if I'll ever see them again. So he's running around screaming at everyone. And then after a while, and then it started going down again. And then when he came, he was like, oh, my what, 2 sons.
is that the
And
last?
we were like, bahut maza aaya. Can we do it again? It was like 1 hour Ferris wheel, bahut mila. Okay, when we'll do it again? And then after that, I never went to Sharjah, I think.
No, I've actually never sat on that ride in my life.
Yeah, I would avoid it if I was you.
I've never actually had the experience to actually sit on it. I've seen it dismantled and mantled up again into another location. They moved it from there now.
Oh, it's not there?
Yeah, it's not there.
I wonder why. Yeah.
But that's an amazing experience. So in my own building, the lift has stopped multiple times. Just you're going on your way to the 10th story and the lift stops working, decides not to work
You
anymore.
live on the 10th floor?
Yeah.
So you climb 10 stories if it's.
Multiple times in the past, yes. So during extreme summer season, the electricity just went off. Most of Sharjah has experienced this, I think, at least once in their lifetime. And so the elevator isn't working. So with all the school books I carried to my, so this is during the final exams, and you usually carry like your books back from school back to home, and all that weight on my shoulder, sweating. There's no AC in the corridors. It's open corridors. Just climbing one step at a time, and then stopping midway sometimes, wondering when it's all going to end. And when you reach the 10th floor, the electricity comes back.
It's like a metaphor for life.
So
You know, electricity went in Dubai once.
uh,
I remember a very significant one, 2006 when we just moved,
Yeah.
or 2005.
And then
Yeah. It just went for the half the day, and then you went downstairs. All the groceries are selling the ice cream 3 for 1 because it
Oh.
would melt, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So we were like, in just 6 hours, grocery haath khade ho gaye, bro. They are like, we can't handle this ice cream, can't handle the milk, buy whatever you want. So we bought the ice creams and we came back and we ate it. And then it came back,
Maybe it was all a technique to get rid of old stock.
ice cream, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. And then it just, electricity came back and the grocery was like, damn, we just sold all our ice cream. But yeah, that was the only time it happened in Dubai. Few times there was an earthquake,
Oh yeah,
but never felt it in Dubai.
bro. Sharjah, I think the earthquake probably originated from my building.
It was a Jinn.
I don't know who it was or what it was, but I've seen the ceiling shake. I've seen the floor move. Like, I'm not kidding. I thought this was it 3 times.
Damn.
And in midst of all of that, my family's gathering their belongings. Everyone's getting their shit. And I'm just like, let's get the hell out of here. This
Yeah.
thing's going to come down any second.
Yeah.
People are using the elevator even though you shouldn't use
Yeah.
it.
Just no one. I remember at least 3 times the earthquake. It came when I was in the school bus. So I also spent a large percentage of my life in the school bus.
Okay.
So obviously the bus is shaking so much. How would you ever know that
Yeah.
there's an earthquake, right?
Yeah.
My mom at home, I don't know what she was doing. She's probably in the kitchen, so she didn't realize.
Okay.
It is just minor tremors, right? Nothing major. Only and at that day stage, you didn't have Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
No one was calling you earthquake. Dekha gaya. So only when a dad came home, he was like, "Oh man, today was an earthquake. I was sitting in the office, everything was shaking." And you're like, "What? Missed it completely?" I'm like, "Damn it! 3 earthquakes now, man." I was very angry.
It's
And,
a family event.
Yeah. None of us have seen it. He came home. He's like, "What did you guys do?" And
You're almost jealous of him.
yeah, well, at least it's an experience, right? I've lived through at least 5 earthquakes, but never experienced one. Can you imagine? Anyway,
I couldn't because in Sharjah I've lived three of them.
you started the earthquakes,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's another thing you did. You went through a coming of age ritual that all teenagers in UAE go through, GITEX.
Oh.
Yeah. You volunteered at GITEX and you like it so much that you kept going back year after year, even after you became an adult. So if I had to ask you, what unique
Sorry to cut you off. I'd go there even if I had a family of 3 children. I would still go and work in GITEX.
anyone would, right? It is an experience that only people in the UAE know. It's so special to our hearts. So what I want to ask you is, what are some unique elements you noticed when you were selling your pamphlets or brochures to people? What is like a small hack to selling in this region? How do you attract people?
The first GITEX that I did, I sold nothing for the first 4 days.
What were you selling?
Samsung.
No wonder.
uh,
Hey, no offense to Samsung. If you want to sponsor this show,
no, so I sold nothing because I didn't know what I was doing. I had never done direct sales in my life before that. I was just 18 and I had been put on the floor on the spotlight, and people would come in and I would not be able to sell anything. I had barely any idea of what I was doing. And then I got a warning on my 5th day that if you don't sell anything, you are going to be kicked out, and we need sales. And I didn't know back then that you could do all these, you could fake your sales and you could borrow sales. I didn't know all of that stuff. I mean, I was new. I was just figuring stuff out. And in 8 days, there's only so much you can do. 8 days and 12 to 13 hours. But the pay was really good. We were getting 4,000 for 8 days. So Samsung. We would get burger fuel for lunch and Subway for dinner and one Red Bull.
back to how you attracted the people.
So there's this guy. They shifted me from one stand to another because they were like, if you're not making any sales here, this is your last chance. Try over here.
Mhm.
There was this guy Khalid. I still remember. Sorry if I took names. If you want to beep it, I mean, I'm sure Khalid will be fine with me taking his
I have
name.
no issue with Khalid.
This guy would literally just stand in his place on the store. People would come and ask him, and he would only talk to them. So what he was doing and what I observed from that was he was spending quality time. So he was only talking to those people who were remotely interested or wanted to buy something. Whereas what I would do is I would target every single person coming in, and I was in the impression that if I do that, I'm going to get more sales. But what Khalid was the top sales of our stand, and he would just do that, and I was like, wow. And I started following his technique, and by the end, I think I sold like 10 units maybe. That was first GITEX. Uh, Other things that I over the years I've realized in just sales is you ask the right questions. You don't waste their time, and you tell them what the thing is, like to the point. Now, if that person wants to buy it, they're going to buy it. If they don't want to buy it, they won't buy it. And if they still want to buy it, they're going to come back to you. So what you want to do is waste as minimum time as possible of your customer and get them what they want to know. You also need to be able to identify what their need is or what they're looking for. So when you will be with so many models of Samsung, for example, or so and so product will have different models. So you need to understand what they might come in thinking that they're going to buy, like, let's say S10, but maybe they want to go for the S9 and they don't know it. And you'll understand that from what they answer your questions. What are their needs? What are the work uses, home use? They're gifting it to someone, etc., etc.
You also dropped out of university,
Oh,
which
yes.
puts you in the elite club of people that includes Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, also Seth Rogen and Kim Kardashian. So,
Hey guys, I'm on my way.
so how does it feel to be in the same club as them?
Amazing. It has been one of my best. I mean, it's too soon to say because it's only been like almost a year, but it has been one of my best decisions I've ever made. So when I made the decision to drop out of university, I was second year, first semester, and I went up to all my professors right before my final exams. And I told them, I will not be seeing you anymore, and thank you so much for because they did their job right. And I just felt that when they're correcting my paper, they don't spend a little extra time because I didn't leave much for them to correct. Like
Made the job easier.
I made their job way easier. Like literally for this calculus 3 paper, integrals and differentiation, the whole. So there's only 2 chapters in calculus 3, I think. This guy had given me like 7-8 questions. You have to differentiate like 4 of them, and then you have to integrate 4 of them. I differentiated everything once, and I gave it to him. And I told him that, listen, don't go through my paper because there's nothing to go through. And the decision came from actually when I was going to join the media company. I had an interview there, and for the last 2-3 months, I was already very hazy about continuing because I was part paying my own fees, and part of it my dad would be paying. And I was like, is it really worth it becoming an electrical engineer? Why am I becoming an electrical engineer? I love Iron Man. I love Tony Stark. I want to be into robotics. He's kind of my inspiration into creating stuff. What's my long-term goal? I want to have my own business that runs these machines so that if I'm an engineer, I'll be able to build it myself. I'll be the design behind it. Then I slowly came to the realization that I could hire people to do that. You really don't need a degree to do that. So I was like, why am I doing this? And why, when those questions are there, and when you've been working in the field for a while, you start questioning existence and reality itself. A lot of pressure comes your way. It will, but it all depends on how strong you are about your own self, how strongly you hold yourself, what's your status, and where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as the listener, or do you see yourself as, no, if I say this is it, this is it? Like, you're the boss. It could be disrespectful in some cultures and traditions, but at the same time, I think if you take it the right way, if you do it the right way, it's not disrespectful at all. If you do it with consent, and you like, there's a way to everything. You can't just go up to someone and be like, hey, go up to your parents, hey, I'm dropping out of university. Kind of, that's how I did it, but it worked with me because I have that relationship with them.
Kids don't try it at home.
Do not try it at home. So the interview that I had with my media company, the guy told me, why are you doing this? Why are you I would consider him to be one of my mentors, Mahdi Shafi, founder of Trifid Media. He asked me, why am I becoming an electrical engineer? I said, I want to be remembered. He's like, are you going to be remembered if you become an electrical engineer?
Bro, I did partly electrical engineering, so I'm greatly offended.
No, I'm just, it's for like what my goal was. Okay, my goal was to start like a business, in so to speak. So it's like, then why are you doing electrical? Like, are you passionate for electrical engineering? I'm like, okay. I didn't have anything to say. It's like, if you want to work in my company, you are hired immediately, but just drop out of university. So I think that was my trigger point. That was where I was like, okay, I have to take a stand for myself, and I need to make a decision. I need to make it fast, because financially, I wasn't that secured back then either. I asked my dad, and it's like, inshallah. And I'm like, I'm a religious person as well. I believe in Islam, but inshallah doesn't cut it. If you can't, let me know from now. And then we had the talk, all of us, and I was like, okay, there's going to be a 15,000 dirham debt in the future, in the very near future, if you don't have money, and I won't be able to pay it off, even if I work my ass off somewhere. So I was like, I'm dropping out. I canceled everything. I started working in the media company. I made close to 30 grand, double the money that I would have owed my university. Today, I've started my own freelance thing in TikTok management after gaining 10 months of experience at a media company that has enabled me to do that. So I would say that so far, so good. It's going in the right direction. And if I was still in university, I would be doing online classes and paying and going further in debt into becoming something that maybe it wasn't my thing. Maybe electrical engineering is something I just like because I like building stuff, and maybe building the business is my next thing. And I'm on my way to building my own brand. That's the next goal.
Yeah, it is interesting. There's always been a disconnect between the universities and what you end up doing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, what if you studied in university or school, never applied.
There you go.
Yeah. So
why pay for it?
Yeah, and there's a very high cost. It is a business at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
people are only chasing the label or the degree,
Yeah.
which doesn't really count for much.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it really matters what you do at the role you
Yeah.
are and how passionate you are. That's all, and your attitude towards it. So yeah, it's a very interesting. I think this your at, at your age or when you decide to drop out, it might still be seen as a slightly taboo thing to do,
Yeah.
but it's increasing the number of people who are doing it, and then down the line, I think it'll become very normal because even now with a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, you're not guaranteed a job. So why do it, right? Why
I have
invest
my
in
own
it?
friends who don't have a job and are either sitting at home or
Yeah. So
running their family business, and
a degree didn't change
their
anything.
degree didn't change anything.
I think more people will realize that, but then there'll be pushback from universities as well. They'll try to lower the cost. They'll try to do something. It's a privileged position because a lot of people need that degree to,
Yeah.
upgrade in life.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then yeah, a very smart decision on your end. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next segment, which is called Idea Incubator,
Okay.
or I like to call it No Time to Learn. Very original. In this, I ask my guests to share an idea, concept, theory, experience that they've been thinking about, they really want to share with their other people, and I'll try to learn as much as I can about it. So, what do you want to share?
So there's this idea that I recently came up with because I don't know. I just I was just thinking about stuff. If you played the game Sims, I haven't played it, but I know about it. And it's basically you're in a simulation of people's lives and you control what happens. Like you can close the door randomly,
That's
and
what you did. That's why you played the game.
anyways,
Yeah.
so the I was thinking if you could create that same game with the same avatars, but those avatars are actually people, like actual real people. So John from America could be playing that game while Fahad from UAE is also in the game. And then in Sims, we could show that if John wants to meet Fahad, then he has a specific bank account reflecting his actual bank account, and he flies to Dubai, and then they meet, they go for a coffee, and then they start a business together, and it's all simulated. So in a way, it kind of also would require a lot of 3D mapping. Like if you have an account, then you have to map your whole house, you have to map your area.
This
Okay,
is a game.
this is a
Right?
game.
Okay.
This is all a game. So you live out your day-to-day lives normally, but you can also replicate them in this game as in any way you want to. Like you could be killing your boss in the game, for example, at your workplace. So tomorrow you go to work and your boss goes like, "Yeah, I saw you. You were killing me yesterday in the office." Like
Oh, he would know that you're
yeah.
killed him.
So it's like something for your wildest fantasies. You know, it could be anything that you can't do in real life. It won't be accepted by society legally or morally or whatever. But in this game, you can simulate to the design of the area, to the sensation of the character and the avatar who looks like the person.
Okay, I have a question for you. Why do you think that's not already happening? What if we are in a simulation and both of us are just game characters? This Jinn thing that you do is maybe just someone pressing a button, make Fahad do the mouth movement, and you do that.
There's a very strong possibility that all of this is a simulation,
Mhm.
and we could be just puppets being controlled by someone else.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Your idea is to make a simulation within the
Yeah,
simulation. Now do a game.
yeah. If it
Interesting.
goes up, and if people start getting hooked to it, then what's going to happen is companies are going to take interest, and you could add brands within the game. So like you go to the supermarket, and then there are specific brands only positioned over there who sign up to the game. Like Coca-Cola, for example, pays me a monthly retainer to have their products listed in the game in different locations, and then that's free advertisement for them because their avatars within the game are using their products to level up or to feel good about themselves. They have special skills. Cars, brands, again, paid promotions. To make money out of this would not be that difficult. Once the simulator is all set up and running, we would just need servers.
Do you think it'll take away from our real life because then we'll start living in the
Everything
game?
is taking away from our real life right now as we speak on the internet.
True. You are right. I mean, on Twitter, people already have an avatar of themselves that is not
Correct.
close to what they are in real life.
Correct.
They're meaner.
Yes.
They write more negative comments.
Yes.
It's very different from when you are face to face with someone. But do you think that might happen that tomorrow I go somewhere and someone is rude to me, and instead of replying back to me, I'm like, I'll show you, and I go home and start playing the game, and then
Yeah, that's possible.
that is possible, huh? It's very interesting. In the game, like when I played Sims, I used to do the things that I would never do in life, which is go to work, paint a wall, like do all the boring things and get a lot of joy out of it.
There you go. Why would you get that joy? Because it's your brain is very, so the right side of the brain is creative, right? And the imagination is endless. So you just have a endless room to do whatever you like. In that VR that we used to do in Spider Frogs,
Shout out.
um, that paint room.
Yeah.
You can paint whatever you want. I spent a good 3-4 hours in that reality every day when during the job that I was doing.
That's what you were doing when you were working.
I was making sure that whoever came had the best experience with the simulator. So I was well learned. I was doing my research
By using it yourself.
by using it myself.
You were warming it up for
I
someone.
I was making sure that I missed nothing to explain to them. I would get headaches.
This is the diligence we need in the
Yeah.
workforce. I mean, what a perfectionist.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. I'm stunned. It's an interesting idea. So when are you creating this game?
When am I creating it?
Yeah.
Maybe down the next 6 months when I raise enough capital, I'll look into investors. And
It's a lot of work because you'll have to get everyone who has to join has to basically share a bit of their life so that you can create
everyone who has joined the social media has already done that through pictures and through videos. You know what my room looks like subconsciously if you've seen all my videos.
Thanks for clarifying
You know the
that.
paint on my room. You know the lighting. You know that I'm in my room when I make the videos. You know that I live in Sharjah. You know how old I am. Everything is there on social media.
This
Already.
reminds me of something. The Matrix.
Mm.
Isn't that the same concept?
Yeah, but just remind me on the concept of Matrix.
No, I mean it's real people, but they go inside a
Oh
simulation.
yeah, with
and
the whole.
yeah, I mean it's the physical things, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised it's not done yet. Or if it's done, then it's not popular yet. Maybe we are it.
It is going to happen. So like we mentioned, social media is taking over
Yeah.
our life, and we are already running avatars on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now VR has also become a technology that's
That's
become
the
very
next step.
popular. So that's the next step. So your idea is a fusion of all of them.
There's a game actually. There's a movie actually that I can remember as we're talking. I don't know the name, but real people control real people in a given area, and their avatars. I don't remember the name. It's some futuristic movie.
Is it called Avatar?
No, that's not it. That's not it.
That's an interesting idea, man.
Thank you. Came up with it yesterday.
I'll be very curious to see like how it would shape.
If it shapes.
Yeah, how it shape culture, our behavior.
I think it would be good for criminals maybe. Maybe they can handle rehab.
They can express their
Yeah.
negative emotions in a safer environment.
Yeah, and they would get the same, almost close to same sensation, and then maybe it's some sort of treatment for them. Maybe it's the next cure to reducing crime rate. Could be various crimes. Maybe someone likes stealing stuff, and then he can steal it in the game, and then he sees the consequences. He ends up because he has to live out a lifetime in that game. Every time he logs in, it starts from where he left it. So if the police was about to arrest him for stealing something, then he stopped there. And then when he logs in, this continue arrest him. Then he gets served time. Then he has to bail himself out. Then he has to spend time in the jail. So every time he logs in, he'll just be in jail, for example, for the next 3 months. He can't even play the game. So say, okay, that happens in game. Imagine what happens in real life. And that kind of maybe switches a spark, and that could be the next. Some of these criminals are geniuses.
But because it's a game, it will give you more options, more benefits. If I get to drive a Ferrari in the game, I'll spend more time playing the game than living my real life. Do you think?
Down there, that's a question of, should we abuse something? Like, should we abuse the internet or not? And that's totally up to the people who use it. We've all been given tools on the internet to do whatever we want, and it's up to us how we use it. I mean, of course, there will be guidelines. There have been some very addicting games in the past which have ruined people's lives and made people's lives as well. It's all up to, can you blame the creators of the game for creating that game, for ruining those people's lives? Or do you blame the person who abused it? Do you blame the inventor of the internet?
I definitely blame the inventor of Miniclip. Yes. I don't know if you played Neopets.
I think I remember, but I don't.
Something.
Mini.
Started playing Neopets, and then RuneScape.
RuneScape was my thing.
Bro, I was a player moderator. I was a
Say
big shit.
wallah.
Yeah, wallah. But level 132, bro.
Shit, you
Spend a lot of my
were
time.
way
Yeah.
above me.
Now you're appreciating.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much what you're talking about. It's an avatar of me,
Yeah.
can kill people, can fight monsters.
You have your skill quests complete karni hai and
Yeah.
whatnot. Nice birds, by the
Yeah.
way. I could really make a video out of
I would like it if you would focus on the
Sorry.
conversation at hand. Before we move on to our final stage of questions, I'd like you to interpret what we have built with our Lego today.
You mean what you have stolen from me and then rebuilt in your...
Hey, we're just improvising. Okay, what do you think these things are? What is this?
This was at first a spaceship. It then became an oil rig midway to a house on an oil rig and a spaceship in between that.
I also saw, you're right, I saw like a Chinese
Yeah.
house. No, it's a Japanese architecture, right? Which has the
Yeah.
layered ones. But then, yeah, you're right, this oil rig.
Yeah. I was
So
trying to
it's-
find more of those. I couldn't.
There's always oil on your mind, huh? Living in Sharjah. Okay. What's this?
This looks like in a very autistic house. That's
What an autistic house?
abnormal.
It's an autistic house. This looks like a Pepsi dispenser, you know, the one Burger King where you go put the...
I don't know what
Glass.
type of Pepsi dispensers you...
No, like you put the glass under it and it goes, psst, you know what I mean?
It's definitely more rectangular and more bigger.
So, I mean, can't get it perfect. What do you think this is? Or maybe this?
Looks something in a mechanical setting which you would use.
Okay.
Uh,
What is this?
you like to keep thin spaces, gaps between your models. This looks
Me?
like
Stuffs? What do you think it is?
at this angle it looks like a chicken over here,
A chicken
right there on the top left.
with the beak.
Yeah. Then if you zoom out a bit, the chicken has a building next to it. There's a
Okay.
button here.
It's a chicken maker.
Uh,
I actually thought of a rocket, like, you know, the building the rocket.
oh
with the-
yeah, now that you put it into perspective, this could be the rocket and these are
Yeah,
the things
like
holding
connecting it. Yeah. But that chicken maker, I like the idea more.
Yeah.
And then this,
This is very straightforward.
what is it?
You're building something. This is a crane.
Crane.
That's another crane.
Yeah.
And you're building something on a flat. That's actually my building. You've actually stolen my whole spaceship and you're just reconstructing it over there.
Show me the evidence or it never happened.
Uh,
First, I thought we were doing it like a conveyor belt. You know, the checkout counter in the shopping mall? Like you put the
Mhm.
items, then they have like a bar on top with
Yeah.
the display. But then you started adding other things and then it became a building. Thanks. Thanks, Fahad. Okay. Final stage of questions for you. So, what are some people, TV shows, movies, books that have had a strong influence in your life?
Iron Man movie, Tony Stark, the character, number one. I saw the movie for the first time. I was immediately hooked. I've seen all three parts at least 3 times each. The guy just... I shaped my beard after him. Not fully because I have incomplete beard patches over here, but this part is literally after Tony Stark. If there is any Tony Stark out there, I would want to be like him. Because he has this creating and inventing mentality in the movie. Like everything gets ruined for him. He's literally in the middle of nowhere and he's kidnapped by some terrorists, and he creates a suit out of his broken or out of his weapons. And the idea of DIY, you know, just attracts me. Like to build something out of nothing and rise from it. That's what Iron Man was all about. And then his whole character, how he is a billionaire and he runs his own brand, Stark Industries. He has his own building. I envision myself someday to have my own buildings around the world. I didn't read any book on him. I don't read books that much. I have a book that was gifted to me by Lara on Elon Musk, and I made it halfway through that book. Till date, it is waiting for me to complete it. And I've actually enjoyed that book as I've read it, but I have a very big disorder of reading stuff. I like to see and hear more.
So, Iron Man is...
Iron Man, hands down, probably the only inspiration or the movie Yeah.
What do you like your legacy to be like?
What would I like my legacy to be like? Um, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I know for a fact that I would like people to remember me as someone who brought a positive contribution or impact in their life in some way. It could be anything. Nothing. I don't want to leave the world with any debts, owings to anyone, or grudges. I would like everything to be settled and, you know,
Don't want to become a Jinn.
don't want to become a Jinn for sure.
Okay, final question. What do you think is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of life? It's a tough question.
We don't ask easy questions. I don't know who told you.
Anyways, the meaning of life. You need to find it. What's your purpose in life? You need to figure it out. And I think you spend your whole life doing that. You don't know it when you're born. It's not right in front of you. What's the meaning of life, man? You put me on the spot with that one. I don't know because I myself am still figuring it out. But I think it definitely revolves around you trying to be the best version of yourself in some way or the other. You always try to perfect yourself. Every day you wake up, try to do something. Whether it's the same task, whether it's something different. Meaning of life is actually it's subjective. You're in a loop every day. Maybe there's no meaning to life at all, or maybe that's just life. The meaning of life is finding the meaning of life.
Fahad, thank you for coming to the show. Where can people find you?
I'm a very easy person to find. Just you can find my links in the description below. My contact information is there. My location is not that difficult to find. I live in Abu Shagara. If you come there and you ask about me,
Represent.
at
Yeah.
Hot Burger or
Yeah. And Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, I might just add my address. Might as well.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Come meet the gym.
Yeah.
Daily viewing
Yeah.
tours. That story actually really, we'll do a part 2 on the Jinn itself.
Sure.
All right. Fahad, thank you for coming to the show. It was a pleasure.
Thank you
to
for
have
having me, Shalaj.
And I must say, I thought this would be a really fun episode. It lived up to that, but it's also an equally scary episode.